This video is called the pause breath. So the first technique I'm going to teach you how to do is my tried and true breathing exercise, the pause breath. You may have tried breathing exercises before. I want you to forget what you know and give mine a shot for at least the next 6 weeks minimum before you decide to give up. This is like learning an instrument or a new sport. It is going to be rough sometimes. One day you might think you got it down, and the next day you might not have the same effect. Just stick with it. I promise you'll master it. Most of my clients notice benefits in their energy, in their sleep, in their outlook on life within the first week from just doing the pause breath alone. The way they do it is simple. The trick to mastering my breathing technique as fast as possible is to set an alarm, to turn your timer on your phone for every hour minimum, and every time that timer goes off, click repeat. Stop what you're doing and dive into this breathing technique. People ask, how many times should I practice every time my alarm goes off? Easy. Does it feel good? If yes, do you really want to stop feeling good and get back to feeling like crap? Does it feel bad? Do you want to keep allowing it to feel bad, or would you like to learn how to master it? You might as well do it a few times, okay? Ask this question: how often do you actually put yourself into a calm state? How often do you use your mind to get calm? Not how often your environment makes you feel calm, but how often you are responsible for this. The more you train to calm yourself, the easier it will get despite your environment. You want to develop calm like a reflex so that eventually you can stop panic before it even starts. But for now, train while it's easy and train frequently. Taking notes? I hear this question a lot too. How many times a day should I do this? Same answer, as many as you can or as you want to commit to. Every hour is the minimum requirement, but I've worked with clients that have set their alarms every 15 minutes, and they notice very rapid success. You will be blown away at how often this alert will catch you in the middle of a negative thought. It'll be magical. If you're busy, you're driving, or you're working, if you're in mid-conversation with someone and the timer goes off, no problem. Either get yourself to a quiet and calm place like a bathroom or pull the car over, or simply practice this exercise with your eyes wide open. And make it up to yourself at the end of the day if you're too busy. Ultimately, know that if you practice this when it's easiest to practice, when you are in a quiet and comfortable place, completely undisturbed, you will master it much faster. And that's really what's most important here. So, before I teach you exactly how to do my breathing exercise, I want you to come up with a purely positive story. This can be a memory, a description of a child or a pet, or even a food or restaurant that you love. The goal here is this story has to be extremely specific, peeling back the layers and immersing yourself in it, getting lost in it, and making sure that it is 100% positive. So if you describe your wedding day, you may write, it was beautiful even though my mother-in-law did this. It was perfect, but it did rain and I was nervous. This can't work. It might be tricky for you to do this as it goes against our human nature to just focus purely on the positive. So take your time. The next point about this story is that it must be very specific to one thing or event. Not a bunch of childhood memories, not something general, but one very specific thing. Connect as many senses as you can to the story or this idea. I could write, my dog, Kita, has this new puppy smell. I love her vibrant brindle fur, all different shades of browns and black. Her big silly ears point off her head like wings on a bat. She always smiles, and smiles even greater when I look at her and call her towards me. She is relentlessly loving, and I can get lost in her deep brown eyes. And just like that, I can get lost in positivity. Now, go ahead and pause this video and write your story. A nice sized paragraph, purely positive and very specific in detail. Peel back the layers, use your senses, and when you come back, I'm going to teach you the ultimate breathing technique. Seriously, pause the video right now because it's very important to add this positive story to the end of this breathing technique. Welcome back. If you didn't pause the video and write a story, come on, do it. Do it now. Let's go. Do it. Do it now. The pause breath is an amazing breathing technique. I discovered a similar technique to help me with sleep apnea. See, I was diagnosed with moderately severe sleep apnea after a sleep study and prescribed a CPAP machine. Mastering this technique alone completely cured my apnea, as well as my insomnia. It has helped hundreds cure their anxiety and even more cure their insomnia. And it is going to help bring you into the present moment. Train your body to feel calm as a reflex, and it is going to tip the scales towards more positivity in your life. To perform this breathing technique, get somewhere calm and quiet as often as possible. Sit up straight with your spine erected, with your shoulders back and your chin up. And lay your hands on your knees with your palms up. You're going to want to close your eyes. And you're going to slowly inhale through your nostrils, paying very close attention to the feeling of the air as it tickles your nostrils. Allow your belly to expand while you're inhaling. This may feel strange to you at first, but this is how the diaphragm works to pull the most oxygen into your lungs. This is how you're supposed to be breathing while you're sleeping. You may want to put your hand on your chest to allow your belly to come out while you're inhaling. So focus all of your attention on the breathing, on the stretching of your belly, on the tickling of the air in your nostrils. Breathe very slowly and very deeply for about 4 to 8 seconds. The number is irrelevant. Just do it to your comfort. This is the rising arrow on the rectangle of the imagery provided for you in this lecture. Breathe as slow as you're comfortable. Once your lungs reach their maximum capacity, once you can't fill any more air into your lungs, and seriously try this, pause for a moment, perhaps a second or two. This is the top of the rectangle on the image provided. Feel the pressure. Listen without judgment. So judgment means if you hear a noise, you label it. You hear the dog barking and your mind says, oh, I have to feed Sparky. To listen without judgment means to simply hear sounds as sound. To accomplish this, when you hear something, focus back on your body. Only pause briefly to your comfort. Slowly release and exhale. And as you're exhaling, again, focus all of your attention on the air leaving your nostrils or your mouth. Feel the air. Hear it. This is the downward arrow on the image provided. Feel the pressure of your belly and your chest release. While exhaling, imagine all of the tension in your body releasing as well. Feel your jaw, feel your neck, your shoulders, your fists, your feet, and imagine tension being released. If you don't feel tension release, repeat these steps and lift your shoulders on the inhale. Allow them to drop every exhale, and this will train your muscles to relax during this exercise. While listening to the air and feeling the tension release, you've managed to press pause on the day, even for just a millisecond, and this is beautiful. This is the present, and this is where you want to visualize that positive story you wrote. Dive into that story now while performing more pause breaths over and over. This is what the heart in the imagery stands for. You want to begin to plant real feelings of calm and positivity in your mind 10 or more times daily. A tip on doing the pause breath involves understanding how your lungs work. The human lungs are long, deep lobes that can create an area of dead space where oxygen-depleted air rests. To remove this dead air, when you are sitting comfortably, slowly exhale and force every bit of air out of your lungs. This may make you feel a little lightheaded. Don't be alarmed. Clear your lungs out every so often and enjoy that rich, deep breath that follows. It goes something like this. Yeah. Another great tip is to attempt the pause breaths while lying on your back until you get used to that belly expansion on the inhale. Some find it easier performing it this way for the first few times. If you aren't getting that great oxygen rush upon inhale, sort of this light feeling in your head, or you're feeling short of breath despite having a clean set of lungs, really try to pull in as much air as possible on that inhale. You'll be surprised at how much you can fit in there, and the increased oxygen will feel great on your body. And the last most important tip to share with you is to not look over your shoulder and ask, is anxiety still there? Am I still feeling anxious? Why am I feeling this way? As we dive into how the mind is wired, you will understand that simply wondering if you are going to be anxious is the same thing as asking to be anxious. Focus 100% of your attention on the task at hand. Practice makes perfect. Don't expect to get this right away. Remember, this is not a pill. This is a journey. Mastering this foundational routine will help you beat 80% of your suffering. As practice, I'm going to do one right now with you. So remember, eyes closed, shoulders back, spine erected, chin up, palms open. Very slow inhale. And if you train yourself enough, you'll yawn every time you do it, just like me. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.